Okay, Internet. Whoa. Okay, Internet. It's been a while since we've chatted, and I don't think this video quality is going to be that great, but I don't really care. Got a lot to talk about. This is also not scripted again, but look, I just do better unscripted, alright? So, we got to talk about the PicoNav, some of the updates around there, some of the other products going on, the holiday season, future of, well, everything in this channel. So hopefully you don't hear my printers going on in the background. I actually, look, this is very unscripted. I did not test this to see how it works with all the other background noise, so I'm so sorry for whatever this picks up. But yeah, the PicoNav, Dave, first off, it's hungry right now, so I need to feed this guy. But since we had last spoken, I didn't leave off on a great note, right? I had to talk about having to manage my time a little bit better and make some actual tangible progress with the PicoNav. So where are we now? Since then, I went on a little vacation and I went to London, and funny enough, the first ever beta tester is in London. So I got to meet with Mr. Adil, and with his permission, I recorded a little bit of the encounter. So the very first beta tester ever, I got to hand deliver him the first unit, which felt really cool, actually. The engagement went really well. I mean, I've talked to Adil for on and off, for a couple of years. He's been around since I started Veek Designs, and he's a really cool guy. So at the end of this, I will add bits and pieces of the engagement because we talked about a bunch of other non-PicoNav type things too, so I'll stitch together the parts that were relevant in the conversation. But it was really cool meeting him, but it really, lit this fire under myself to say, hey, this needs to get moving. So what's changed since then? And if you're a part of the Discord, you already know this stuff. But I am doing an alpha test. It's a little bit different than the beta because for the alpha, I'm getting people to test features that are admittedly not done yet. Like this product is not in a ready state from a software perspective. But I'm choosing people who have already registered for the beta test, so I'm not taking any new people or anything like that. It's just people who are signing up to say, yes, I want to get my product earlier in my hand, knowing full well that it's not fully baked. And surprisingly, roughly half of the people who were a part of the beta test said, yes, I would love to test your unfinished product, even more unfinished than what I had originally anticipated. But even since then, I have added, oh goodness gracious, I should have pulled up the list because I wrote this all on a giant blog post that I'll probably post, I don't know, a screenshot. Well, can I show everyone that? There's a sign up form. If I post the link to that sign up form, we'll make sure that you can't, sign up for that alpha test because it's over and done with and units are about to ship out, which we'll get into in a moment. But since then, I've added new stat calculations. I've made 10 cards to a deck instead of 8 cards to a deck. The KO trigger works now, so when the guy gets knocked out, you can actually see him with a little KO animation. You have to wait a certain amount of time. You lose a gem. The gem system has been reworked as well. There's a couple of additional items that are now functionally working. A couple of random bug fixes. Oh yeah, there's a whole new tutorial screen. I didn't even talk about that. So yeah, there's a tutorial screen now that when you first start the game up, it tells you how to use all the buttons and the navigation. You pick a starter build and all that. And really, I'm only missing a couple of small things to get this alpha, kind of out of the way and then going into a proper beta test. So I want to talk about that really quickly. There are some features that I think are necessary for this game to be considered a true beta test because I want the beta test to be things that are more indicative of the final product. So the venture mode, which is the area where you go to choose your dungeon, and that's where you would go to do this food farm to gather more consumables and a couple of other extra features later in the game. I hated the way the UI worked. It just felt weird and clunky, and it was a product of things that I thought were necessary at the time, where having now used this thing daily, I have changed perspectives, so I'm redoing how that menu works, but it's a core part of the game. So that part needs to be finished. The food farm, because originally I wanted the ability to feed and heal your guy and alter its mood and stuff like that to be based on proper planning. I wanted you to use consumable items that you would acquire throughout regular gameplay and not something that is kind of like the DMX or even just like regular traditional Digimon V pets where you have infinite food items. I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted you to plan properly, and if you run out of food, then you'll be taken out of combat for the next couple of hours while you grow food, which leads me to the food farm. It's something that was suggested actually in the Discord that I thought was such a cool idea that breaks up the regular flow of gameplay and still keeps to that whole idea of raising a pet and still being an idle game type of thing. So it just made so much sense that I think it needs to be present in the final product and also in the beta test. Alpha testers, they're cool with not having it. They're cool with just making sure that the average time and the flow of the game work out to make sure that the pet doesn't get hungry too often or those kind of values need to be tweaked. That's what those alpha testers are going to be doing, as well as telling me what's broken. Beta testers, I want you guys to have the full features of the game ready to go. There's also stuff like chance encounters and like random encounters and stuff that will be implemented as we move closer towards the beta to kind of, again, mix up the gameplay. But I want the beta testers to be more focused on the game balance, to say, like, as I add new items in and as I add new modes and features, they'll tell me if, is it fun? Does it work? Is something broken? That type of thing. The alpha testers are going to tell me, like, no, your systems are broken, Vince. They need to be fixed. So that's the difference between the two. But let's talk about time frames really quickly, right? Because like talking about all this is cool, and the fact that I've been making real tangible progress is also cool. But for those alpha testers, the goal is to have these units shipped out to them before the end of the year. Production has actually already started. Since recording this video, I actually finished all of the engraver files because I did tweak the shells of these some time ago. So all the engraver files for the alpha and beta testers have been done and finished, and I am currently printing the next batch of those. So Adil's very first beta test unit was blue, so right now I'm printing all of the blue units, and then after I finish all the blue units, then we'll move on to purple and then pink and then black and clear, and I'll make sure that all of the alpha testers get their units shipped out before the end of the year. The goal is we'll spend the next month between now and then the time they all ship, so basically all of January, testing the features and make sure that they are sound, because right now I am making really solid progress. I'm moving faster than I expected myself to move, which is great. When you break things into little more manageable chunks and you don't have the world ahead of you, you can get a lot more done. So that's all taken care of. We're gonna do the alpha testing through January, and then once everything looks good, assuming nothing has catastrophically blown up, then I'll get the beta test units shipped out in February, and then we can talk about a bigger launch, the future of the product and all of that. So things are moving, and they're moving great, and I'm not, killing myself with my workload here. Work is still crazy busy, life is still crazy busy, but in between all of this, I'm finding time to, live my life and be with my family and friends and still maintain a healthy work-life balance. Which brings me to another thing. Moving off the PicoNav for a moment, I want to talk about some stuff that's been going on in just the rest of the Veek Designs world. And I gotta talk about, well, let's get the easy one out of the way. Vital Pets. Vital Pets, these are my last batches of the year. I am currently printing the final things. I have roughly like 20 something or so units left that I can sell now before I am done with them for the remainder of the year. And then in 2025, I'm gonna look at making them a little bit differently. I want to try to find a way that I can still support Vital Pets. I think even now, years after its inception, people are still asking me for Vital Pets. People are still buying Vital Pets. Every time they get sold out, I get a myriad of questions asking when they're going to be back in stock. Even when I think people are done with the VB, the VB finds a way. So next year, I'll be looking to slightly modify the design of the Vital Pet. It's going to be largely the same, so people who have them today don't feel like you have to get a new one or anything like that. But the logo and the little arrow that I have that you guys have seen me sand and glue, I'm looking at not doing that anymore and just making it embedded in a part of the design. That does mean that it is probably going to be flat on the top now entirely, so you won't get that texture that you will have before, but it will be a lot easier to work on, so I won't be, killing myself trying to make these devices again. And that way I can continue to support them, because I don't know why, but you guys just keep coming back for them, and I really appreciate it. That being said, for the people who want a VB still, and you're considering the Vital Pet, if for whatever reason you're interested in the pre-mods, the pre-mod units have been in kind of a weird spot right now for me because I know a lot of people are looking at like the, the DM 25th and honestly like the DM color with like the Monster Hunter set, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are still interested in like a regular VB or the VBB, let me know and I'll consider supporting a couple of those pre-mods. I always think nobody wants them and then I'll make one or two of them and then they sell out immediately. Like I'm talking like within 20 minutes of me listing the thing. So if that's something that people still want, let me know. I'm thinking about doing like the regular VB for like a $20, $30 discount and then the VBB because it's just harder to acquire at its regular price that I have listed today. So if that's something that interests you, let me know. Leave a comment. And then the other thing is I've been working on a more therapeutic project that has not been related to anything that we've talked about here. And that is this. This is the Spellslinger deck box. If you guys know anything about me, and if you've ever been on any of my streams where I play way too many trading card games, whether it be Paper and Magic, or it's Pokemon, the actual trading card game, or the trading card game Pocket, or Altered, or maybe these new digital card games coming out like Bazaar and all these other stuff. And we'll talk about card games in a bit, because I have one more comment I'm going to make about that. You'll know that for the longest time, I've wanted a deck box that I can put on a shelf. Specifically, a bookshelf, a book deck box. It's been something that's been on my brain since the dawn of time, and I finally found a process that I can make and manufacture these in a way that I think is very therapeutic, that does not interfere with any of my business processes, that take significantly less time for me to make, and I can so I have this one, which is a customizable one. It's called the Astral Storm because my commander that I have, and this is a commander deck, is its name is Vadric the Astral Archmage, and it's a Storm commander, so I named it the Astral Storm. But this, if you can see, is made of actual hardcover, like it's a hardcover book board with actual book cloth. It's fully customizable. In fact, somebody at work saw these, and it's funny. This is like, and I'm not gonna throw his like position and everything on here, but he's a higher ranking person in my company, and he asked for one of his own, which is really awesome. So thank you, Adam, for doing this. But yeah, these are fully customizable. There's 20 different hardcovers that you can choose from. Customizable title. You can add your name or whatever you want as an author. Again, genuine book board with a 3D printed midsection here. It holds 100 double sleeve cards or two 60 card single sleeve decks. You can make them whatever you want. So here is my Pokemon Gym Leader Challenge one, effectively called, effective gym leadership. And yeah, this is something that I can do off on the side while I am working on the PicoNav or I'm working on Vital Pets or something, because all of these parts and everything, I've worked out the manufacturing and supply chain. These take me under an hour to assemble. They are super quick, super easy. I usually just have a YouTube video on and I do it in the middle of the night, like right before bed or something. They are awesome. And then the best part, my legitimate favorite part, is that if you get enough of these, you can put these on a shelf. And I'm making another one for myself for my other commander decks. I have a bunch of commander decks that need to be filled up that I have like a small bookshelf over here full of like card game paraphernalia, and I'm just gonna have a whole row dedicated to all of my different decks and stuff. So I'm very excited for that. Additionally, for all things related to Veek Designs right now, for the rest of the year, you can use promo code REFRESH, because I need to talk about this too. Promo code REFRESH will get you 10% off of anything on the shop. Vital Pets, Vital Pet accessories, Vital Watches I'm actually sold out on. Please let me know if you guys are interested in that. Even the new Spellslinger with all the customization options, whatever you guys want, it's 10% off for the rest of the year because my website has been refreshed. I redid the UI on there to have a more modern feeling, to kind of match the softer but still material design influenced, PicoNav, and it feels a lot more updated. Some of the information's updated as well. We're going to be working on a wiki too with the PicoNav that'll eventually be hosted on there. A bunch of how-to guides, some information about the device itself for people who are just curious about the product as things get moving. Those are currently in development because I've been doing a lot more writing and literature type work, just kind of off on the side of my day job. So I've been passively writing the wiki and a bunch of help articles and stuff in between my day job stuff. But other than that, a couple of other small things too. The art, I shouldn't talk about this right now, but I'm staring at my Discord and I'm hoping this doesn't bite me in the butt. But right now, I'm in conversation with a very talented artist who has, throughout their own volition and passion, has reached out to me to facilitate some of the pixel art for the PicoNav, and I'm working very closely with them to kind of do a trial run. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's keeping to my design language. I've given them all of the assets that I've been working on, but it's really cool. I'm going to have a potential partner who is going to be a large contributor to this. I hope this project goes really well so I can one day pay them. I've made it very clear that I cannot pay them at current, at least not a livable wage, but I'm hoping to give them some kind of compensation. But hopefully that goes well, because honestly, like, seeing you guys get hyped over this, I'm looking at my Discord right now because I'm seeing a really cool thing that it's making me smile. So if you're watching this, individual, I think you've done a great job. But anywho, yeah, I think that's everything right now. It honestly brings me so much joy to see you guys excited over these projects and products that I've been doing. It's been really fun to see you guys hop on stream. I've been on social media a little bit more because I acknowledge that it needs to happen, and I need to stop looking at social media like a grumpy old man. I need to stop looking at YouTube like a grumpy old man. And I'm just gonna do what I do best, which is ramble and post stupid shit online. And you guys seem to like that, so I'm not gonna overdo it, right? Anywho, this weekend I'm gonna be streaming some fun times. The Pokemon trading card game Pocket. We're going to be doing a little bit of that. And then also some more serious stuff where we're going to be doing PicoNav and Vital Pet stuff too. So I'm going to be doing a bit of mix of both. I'm committing to one stream a week. We'll see how that goes. I'm not giving a certain time frame either. I just have a little checkbox on my morning checklist that I look at every single day that asks, did you finally stream yet? We'll see how that's been going. I've already streamed once this week. I'm going to do it again. I've been rambling for too long, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll talk again before the end of 2024, and I look forward to an awesome 2025. Peace out.